Today we have some interesting dating things I want to talk about and a new site that has been under fire since yesterday and today, and what my opinion is on that. We also need to get into people saying a member from TXT is dating someone from SSERAFIM and what's going on with that. And then we have protests going on for Min Hee Jin to leave the label. Say Dumplings, it's Dave. Decide hater or not, make sure you're subscribed with the notification bell on. Make sure you join us fangirling on Patreon with some free content on Saturdays now, and let's go. So there was or still is a petition going on at change.org asking Min Hee Jin to leave the label. Now, I've been following this case really closely, and from what I'm aware of, a lot of the allegations against her are simply either media play or simply false allegations that have been made to paint her in this really horrible light. And the bottom line is, what a lot of people tend to get wrong is that the people that are seen as villains in the entertainment industry are not as bad as they think that they are. Are there people that touch kids? Are there people that do awful things like that? Yes, those people are not what I'm talking about. But when there are accusations of things like chart manipulation or media play or paying off the press, these things simply just don't exist. I cannot simply go up to Forbes, I cannot go up to the biggest news sites that exist in the world and then just pay to have my story featured. Do websites and news sites take money when you're featured? Some of them do. However, that's already when they know that they're going to feature you. Because, for example, you can't just pay me to post something on my channel if I know that by posting that thing, my audience is going to hate it and that no one is going to watch it. So you see how like paying someone to post something or continuously post something is not really something that if the media were to do, they would get a huge benefit out of. They might make some money in the short term, but in the long term, the audience is not going to pay attention to them anymore because the piece that they're posting is going to come out biased. It's going to be kind of unrelated to what they normally post, and it's just not going to be something that the audience of that news site is going to enjoy reading. Because typically, if let's say I were to pay someone to do that, I'm going to have some requirements of what the story should say and how it's written and all that sort of stuff. This of course means the original reason why the audience likes that news site will no longer be in this article that is being paid for. So this is very interesting, as the specific petition was stating a lot of the things that I don't personally feel like had factual things backing it. A lot of the claims, such as Min paying the media and that sort of stuff, can not only be easily disproved, but are stuff that hasn't been proved in general. When I see these petitions, it's always very interesting to me because it's not like they're backing up these claims with actual evidence, where it's like, so-and-so did this, here are the times they did this, link to the actual website and where they did that from, news articles and all that stuff. That would be a different case. However, that's not what's happening in most of these community fandom petitions. Instead, it's a smear campaign against the person who they're trying to make the petition about, and it's not backed up by anything factual. So it's not like other people are even going to take this seriously. However, the petition has tens of thousands of signatures, so clearly people take it seriously. Maybe I'm just the hater here, and that's fine, I can be a hater. The evidence that they use in the post are screenshots from several news sites. Some of them are actually credible. However, the ones that are credible don't actually back up the claim that's made in the petition. And then they put in specific news sites that I see all over Twitter a lot. And this news site, to say the least, is very controversial. It's not really sure where they get a lot of their information from, and I don't want to come for this person because they may be getting their information from a factual place, and I just don't know. But the actual truth of this news site is, if you Google it and you look them up, there's a lot of people who have mixed opinions about them. So it's fine to cite them because they could have accurate stories and they could have something that is actually true. But if you're citing a news site that is known to be controversial, it makes the whole post a lot less credible, at least in my opinion. Of course, I'm not saying this to try to get the petition taken down or even to completely discredit the petition. If you believe in those claims that are being made, then cite them in the petition. I'm happy to see that. I would retract my statement completely. Speaking of this news site, they tend to talk a lot about dating rumors, and a lot of them recently have been about TXT and what the members have been doing, maybe in their free time. A lot of it I would say comes from a pretty reputable source, and a lot of it is stuff that's either taken from Koreaboo, and Koreaboo typically does cite their stuff, so I tend to believe them over a lot of other K-media sites. One particular story that was absolutely hilarious was a story that was about how Yeonjun caused a couple, two influencers, to actually break up. This story is absolutely hilarious as the woman in the relationship, I think she made a story or a post to say how much she loves the TXT member, and the boyfriend actually ended up seeing that, reposting it, and then saying a bunch of silly things, and actually ended up breaking up due to that specific post. This, of course, would be very jarring to a lot of the community that watches them, because they probably see that there's nothing wrong with them, like there's no fighting going on, and both of them show up on camera, and they're funny, and they're all of these things, and then we see something so small where one of the influencers is talking about a celebrity, and the relationship ends, and we kind of wonder, what is this about? Some influencers see themselves as a bit more of a celebrity, and so when a celebrity says that they really like another celebrity, it's easy for other celebrities to look at it and say, well, there's a chance that they could actually be together, right? It's not like us going after these idols, whom of course they would automatically reject. The other theory I have is there was a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes anyway, and we tend to not see what's actually going on behind the scenes because, as I mentioned before, sometimes you just kind of show up on camera and you act funny and whatever, and then the moment the cameras are off, you stop doing that. And the reason why is because people like to see two people loving each other rather than arguing with each other. So if money is on the line and there's a lot of other stuff on the line, then the two are going to at least appear like they're not fighting, even when they are fighting just for the sake of the camera. So the moment the camera hits record, they're all lovey-dovey, they start talking, they kiss in each other, whatever they do. I haven't really watched their specific videos, but whatever they would do, and then that moment the cameras are off, they could start ignoring each other and not really talking to each other anymore. And then this post was probably just like the straw that broke the camel's back sort of thing. Now, there's a lot of theories that Yeonjun is dating, and I think that is very interesting. The thing about the TXT community is that the idea of the members dating doesn't really seem to bother the community that much. I see mostly people being very supportive over the potential idea that the two people could be dating, whereas if the BTS members were to be dating, then seemingly even themselves get a lot of death threats. Whereas like most male idols who date, typically they just a woman gets hate, right? With BTS, it seems like even they get hate. Whereas with TXT, it seems like everyone just kind of more caring about what is true and being like, is this true? Is this not? But if it is, I support, that sort of thing, which I think is really beautiful. And I hope that more fandoms are like this. The dating rumors surrounding a playlist that people believed was actually Yeonjun's playlist, the playlist had a cover art photo that made people believe that it was him and that Yeonjun from SSERAFIM, of course. The playlist name and the account that it came from was Yunjin. Of course, that's not like a real big proof. Anyone could make an account that has a playlist name. However, it was interesting because people were saying that the playlist had multiple songs that the group had recommended before. So they were thinking that this could have been a playlist that the members were actually listening to. So that's first and foremost. Again, not very strong, still a pretty weak theory, but it gets more. People also gather that Yeonjun actually released a video where she drew people in this more doll format, and that was very similar to the cover art in the playlist. And then others break down exactly who is in the drawing by kind of breaking down earrings and hair color and that sort of stuff to prove that it actually is these two people that we're talking about. The evidence gets more believable when there's video footage of them being on a TV show or variety show together. So people think that they could have potentially had a moment to talk to each other between shooting or whatever it is. And then other theories go in depth about the specific songs that were added to the playlist and what those song lyrics were. One of the songs is called Low Key by Nicki, and basically it's about two people maybe attracted to each other, but they're in a situation in which they can't really tell people that they're attracted to each other. And the song was written pretty much for a famous person trying to have a relationship, and then it also kind of relates to someone who maybe is in a relationship already, but then is looking to be with someone else. I don't know. There are several of these types of songs in the playlist. So people were thinking that the playlist must have been specifically made for them too. The song also documents this idea of sneaking out of a hotel and kind of being low-key and not letting anyone know. So people were wondering if the two, Yeonjun and Yunjin, had done that before. However, this is important to note that these things are literally just theories and nothing has come out. People haven't actually seen them together. They haven't been spotted kissing or holding hands, or any paparazzis have caught them actually being seen in the same area. So theories are fun, but we still don't have any solid evidence, and I still kind of think that the evidence that was given is still pretty weak. Let me know what you think. Make sure to check out Patreon for more videos. I'll link down below. Thanks, just leave a comment right here. Love you, bye.